All right, finally I caved in. I'm trying to install Claude Code. Let's see how this one goes. So to install, you need the system requirements. Copy this command, enter it into terminal. It took a couple of minutes. Now you just have to do Claude. It says welcome to Claude. So yes, you can use up and down to select. I would like to go with dark mode. Claude with subscription starting at 20 console account. So I still haven't subscribed, so let me hit enter here. It opens up. Did an account and signed in. Here's the pricing plan. I'm going with the $100 one, get max plan. Right, I just bought the subscription, confirmed, I understand. All right, so we'll go through the onboarding process and directly go onto the terminal. An authorization key, so copy and paste that here and hit enter and you should be good to go. This is what you should see now. Hit enter to continue. First step you have to do after this is open any ID like Cursor or I have VS Code opened here. Go to the extensions and search for Claude Code and install it. Once you install it, you'll see an icon like this. So this is Cursor. This is VS Code. Here you can see this one. Wherever you are, click on that and a separate side window will open. So the first thing you need to do is do a slash init, which means a new CloudMD file will be generated, which scans your project and lets you know what's in the project so that it also serves as a foundation for the AI to run on. I've already done that, and this is what it looks like. So it has instructions on what the development commands are, essential commands are, the architecture overview, key components, etc. All right, so now this is one of the first commands you need to run. If your project is small, it'll take a few seconds. If your project is really big, it'll probably take like 2 to 5 minutes. So do have some patience. So once you're done with that, once the CloudMD file is generated, go through that. And if you need to make some changes, do it. The other thing, next thing you need to know is slash model. So when I hit enter, you will see that the default model is Opus for 20% of the usage limits, which is recommended. I would say go with the recommendation because so to select between these two, you need to use your keyboard up and down keys. If you go with Opus, you'll reach your limits much faster. And these limits reset every 5 hours. So that's a whole different thing that I've in another video, which I've linked in the description. So go through that. But just go with the default limits. I'm just going to hit escape. Escape is your key here. No matter what you do, escape is always the key. Now, let's say um, this is the application that I've built so far, and I need to add some keyboard shortcuts to go through the pics in the gallery. Now, if you notice one thing, if I hit Shift Enter, it goes to the next line. I'll tell you how to enable this. Initially, you won't be able to do that. So let this one run first. So in order to do that while this is running, do a forward slash and do terminal setup. So you see this option here, which means Shift Enter will help you get to the new line. Otherwise, what you'll have to do is like you'll have to type in the same line. So do enable that. All right. So here, one thing you see here is like it's asking me for everything. Now, if you notice here, it says question for shortcuts. Hit Shift Tab. Now it says auto accept edits on. Shift Tab again. It says plan mode on. So you can cycle through this one. I want to auto accept the edits, so I'm hitting a Shift Tab, and now it won't ask me the way it asked me before. Very few times it will ask me, but not as much. Now let this one run. All right, so this has run. My development service is already running. So if I want to say no, here you see it's an escape. So I'll just hit escape. And if I go here, refresh, and I'm using my keyboard. If you see my mouse pointer is here, left, right. So it's working really well. The really good thing between Claude Code and using Sonnet on any other IDE like Cursor or VS Code is that the edits are really precise and it doesn't go into a ton of code. I've seen that happen a lot with the Sonnet 4 on Cursor. Changes are done. Make sure you create a branch and commit to that, or you can always do a stash. whatever you do, try not to do too many edits in one shot because it will overwrite and probably introduce bugs. So always keep your changes short. The other thing you need to do is, let's say, once you're done with fixing a bug or whatever, do a slash clear. So and hit enter. So this will clear the conversation history and free up the context. Context in the sense that it will not remember as much details about the recent edits. However, it will still have the memory of what your entire project is and what general direction it's going in. Sometimes you'll have a Figma design or some other design for inspiration. So let's say I have a sample format for changing these thumbnails. So let's say I want to add this image to that. Now, what I'll do is I'll hit Command C on the keyboard and say, and then it's not a Command V, it's a Control V. Here, if you see, it will show as image one. The more you add, the more number of images it will show up. Now, let's say I want to do this. Never do Command V, it's Control V. So this will refer to the location on your folder. All right, so that is done running. Now there are some edits made. It's not as good as it was on the image, but you get the idea how to paste your sample designs into Claude Code. When tasks are running, you don't have to wait for it to finish. You can do something like this. Enable ESLint, enable prettier, ensure that security is up to date, make sure packages are up to date. And now you have something like this. So while all this is happening, sometimes even if you do Shift Tab to have it not ask you any questions, for instance here, what you can do is like you can enable Cloud dangerously skip permissions. So it will never ask you for anything like this. If you enable this, be very, very cautious. I still would like to know what's happening with the code. All you have to do is just copy this one. Yes, please. And just say proceed. Once you hit enter, it won't ask you for anything at all. Got a question about the code. Copy this, and by mistake, you copied all of these things. You paste it here. So how do you remove this? You can give a double escape and then copy the exact things and ask questions or ask it to fix. Here's memory. So you just have to enter hash, add to memory. Don't ask me to start server because it is always running. When I hit enter, it asks me for the project memory or local or user memory. I just want it for this project, so I'll hit enter. User memory would be something that I would never add because most of my projects are in different configurations. So project memory or local memory is the safest. So it will never ask you if it wants to start the server every time once I enable this. And to see where this has gone, it's in the Claude MD file. Here, if you see, it says, don't ask me to start server because it's running. And let me add one more thing again. Run ESLint all the time after every edit and hit enter. Project memory. Here you go. Once you reopen the file, you see that run ESLint rule has been added. So the development rules notes are what comes as part of the memory. So that was pretty much the beginner level for Claude Code. Now, if you do have any questions, drop it in the comments below. Do follow because I will be adding some advanced stuff soon. Also, along with Claude Code, for the Max subscription, you also have unlimited Claude. So this is really good for your general purpose tasks. You have access to Claude Opus 4 and Sonnet 4. Opus 4 is a far superior model for research. One other thing you need to know is go into settings, go into privacy, and if you scroll down, location metadata. If you're looking to improve your privacy, you can disable this. I hope you were able to gain some value from this session on Cloud Code and it was beginner friendly. Also, I've added a link on how the quota and pricing is calculated, so you'll have access to Cloud Sonnet 4 and Opus 4 for 5-hour windows. Do check it out before you start using and you start using more of it because you will Definitely run out of quotas if you use this a lot. And if you found this useful, please do subscribe. Thank you.